I'm here today to talk about plastics. Plastics are not good for you. BPA is in the news a lot. It's a poison, it's a carcinogen, it's an endocrine disruptor. And I mean, all the fish in the major watersheds in the U.S. now have male and female genitals because their hormones are messed up. And hormones are what keep our bodies running and tell other parts what to do. So I'm sure it's one reason for obesity because estrogen is stored in fat, and sometimes your fat cells will hold the chemicals in so that you don't have to get overburdened by these chemicals in your bloodstream. So there are phthalates, which also are cancer causing, and endocrine disruptors. And these are the only two things we know about. I believe that they found out that BPA was carcinogenic. They were doing a study on some rodents, nothing to do with BPA, and the mice kept getting cancer, and they finally figured out it was their water bottle. So if you go around with your plastic water bottle, it's not a good idea. So I'll just run down a whole bunch of stuff BPA is in. You see a lot in the news, oh, it's in cans, it's in plastic bottles. Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I don't drink out of cans except for, now and again when I'm feeling naughty. And I don't drink out of plastic, hardly ever. I mean, if you go to a bar now, they will give you a drink in a plastic shot glass. Looks like a little medicine cup or something. You just say, hey, can I have a glass? Or, when you go to, like, art openings and they give you the wine in the plastic cups. Anyway, I bring my own glass. I know it's weird. And, I don't care. I was very sick with multiple chemical sensitivity, and for 2 years of my life, I was only concerned with getting chemicals out of my body. So I'm not going to put any more in just to go along with everybody. I just get a bottle of like cheap spring water from Whole Foods, drink it, and then I reuse it. I have like reverse osmosis water and a different kind of water filter, and then I put this oil of oregano in it just to sort of make sure it's disinfected and everything, because you're reusing the bottle a lot. And I'll bring my own water wherever I go, and I won't, I don't, unless I'm really thirsty, I just get grossed out drinking out of the plastic, because as you know, I mean, these things are sitting in trucks, they're in hot climates. Rule number 1, don't microwave in plastic. Rule number 2, don't use plastic for anything. But the more it's been heated up, the worse it is. So I don't get coconut oil in plastic because coconut oil is from the tropics. Some things you can't avoid plastic completely unless you are, like, even probably the Amish. Have you ever seen, we have an Amish store here, their meat's all packed in plastic. What's up with that? Did you know there's BPA in your toothbrush? They're using it for fillings now, which is why you might want to go to a biological dentist or a dentist that uses, porcelain and natural things. It's in your mouth. There is BPA in your screens. I'm an artist. I used to do a lot of work on plexiglass, and I had a lot of plastics just in my room. Plastic is bad if you're eating it, drinking it, but if you're sitting on it, if you're breathing it, it's off-gassing toxins. So I got rid of most of the plastic in my house that I could. I got rid of my plastic spoons, forks, just random plastic stuff I had. I just threw, I'm still, throwing it even more away little by little. But it's just really not necessary, and it's contributing to the air pollution in your house. That may seem extreme, but if you get sick, especially if you get sick from chemicals and you don't even know why, like I did, you will go to extreme measures so that you can actually leave the house and be well. There's BPA now on money. Isn't this terrible? George Washington, covered in BPA. So wrong. They say it's because the receipts, the paper that your receipts are used has BPA, so you have the money with the receipts. So, like, there's plastic in everything. There's plastic in paper. My keyboard's plastic. I'm looking for a bamboo one, but I called all the people that make them, and there's like a coating on it. They don't know what the coating is from China, so I'll just stick with. At least Apple supposedly doesn't use the worst, most toxic materials. Luckily, I make pottery, so I made a whole bunch of little jars. Say if I get like something that comes in a big plastic thing, like my Himalayan sea salt, I take it out of the plastic, and put it in a jar, let it air out a little bit. They've done studies that your food is it's contaminated by the plastic, even on the food that's not touching it. Say if you have spaghetti and there's like a spaghetti in the middle, or something it's not even touching the plastic, it's still contaminated by it. So, as you know, Trader Joe's covers all their vegetables in plastic. I don't know why. It's contaminating your vegetables. You can buy organic products in plastic. I don't buy stuff. A lot of times I don't buy stuff just because it's overpackaged. And I do sometimes complain in the Whole Foods because, you know, they're supposed to be environmental and they have these, like, you know, a huge thing of plastic for like two mangoes or something. It's ridiculous. So if you complain too, eventually they might do something. I hate to complain, but, you know, if you try to limit your plastic intake, you will all of a sudden notice that it's just obscene, the amount of plastic we use. I mean, styrofoam is way more toxic than anything, and it should be outlawed. This is actually my bread, okay? I take my bread out of the plastic, I liberate it, and then I just put it in different things. So, that's my latest. I actually want to get a bread box, but I can't find one that's non-toxic. Made these. I was teaching pottery for a little while, but I make these like, there's some old cabbage in there that needs to be thrown out. But whoa. Oh my god. I actually freeze in these things. Sometimes they break. Sometimes my glass breaks when I freeze in it. Oh well. So you don't freeze it. Maybe you put, if you're going to freeze something, just put don't fill it too tight. And then when you go to freeze it, don't screw the top all the way on. Wait till it's frozen, then screw it on. So since I started doing that, I haven't broken any glass. They make vegetable plastic now, but I don't know. I just rather use glass than plastic. Your shower curtain, of course, very bad. I have a cloth one. It doesn't need to be plastic. It doesn't actually, the water doesn't actually go through the cloth. So my kitchen floor it's polyvinyl. Polyvinyl's toxic and not good for you. It's been there for like 4 years, so I haven't taken it up yet, and it's my kitchen. If it was my bedroom, I would take it out. Your eyeglasses, generally those there are plastic and BPA, and many chemically sensitive people have, it burns their eyes and it irritates their skin. You know, so many breast cancer, prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, like the organs that are affected by the hormones, you know, because of these plastics. And also, you know, everything else. But the plastics, I really think, are one of the major causes for why our bodies are not functioning the way that they should. I pretty much got well. I was so sick 2 years ago, I really couldn't go anywhere without being bothered by the chemicals. Every little, you know, floor cleaner, every little, you know, just Dove soap used to make me sick. You know, I had to lessen my toxic burden, and I did that, and one of the ways is being a plastic fanatic. It's not just health. I mean, sometimes it is just the environmental obscenity of it all. To get a sandwich and like a big thing of plastic like this, do you think that's getting recycled? Not in this city. Oh, I forgot. Saran wrap. I mean, all plastic wrap. It usually generally has BPA. I go to Whole Foods and I want to buy like some nice cheese, and it's all like wrapped in this plastic. Sometimes I try to get them to cut me a slice, you know, and put it in a piece of paper. Except for that the paper was plastic paper. Most paper now has plastic on it. Anyway, do the best you can and don't worry about the rest, because worrying is probably one of the worst things you can do for your health. So let's save the planet, people.